Welcome back to the Mountain Morning Show, where, of course, the weather has started to change. And as it does, we start to think about some of the different things that we'll have to do to accommodate that weather. One of them, of course, will be how we handle our refuse and our recycling and what that looks like, especially on a big snowy day when you can barely get that can to the curb. So very happy to have of course, Republic Services here. I've got Reece, DeMille here, as well as Brenda Upright. Welcome both of you to the show.
Thank you.
This conversation is pretty important because we talked about it a little bit after last season, and some people were kind of they didn't quite understand what some of the challenges were being faced by you guys. And I think it's important to discuss that as we get ready to face some of those challenges again.
Snow is going to fly.
Indeed it will. Well, welcome both of you. Let's start with Reece a little bit here. Some of the things that we had last year. We had, of course, record snowfall. And that made it pretty difficult for you guys to make your rounds every single day exactly as planned.
Yeah, you know, from an operational standpoint, we try to do everything that we can to pick up the garbage, pick up the recycling, but we can't sacrifice safety to do that. And so when the snow flies and it's not just the snow on the ground, but it's where the snow goes once they plow it.
Right.
And so roads get more narrow. Cars are still, you know, parked on the side of the road.
Yeah.
Cans are still over this, you know, this mounds of snow, and sometimes it's just impossible to get to certain cans. And what that does is that slows us down throughout the entire day.
You know, we talk about the cans for a moment. I didn't know this, but I'm kind of amazed at this number. So for containers, 2 million plus containers a year.
Yeah, we pick up here in Summit County.
Just in Summit County.
In Summit County, we pick up about 2 million containers a year here in the county. Yeah.
That is hard to imagine. I don't know how you can keep it straight.
Well, when you consider that you know, everybody has a garbage can, a recycling can, and they're picked up either weekly or every other week, and then plus all the front load cans and roll off cans that we collect.
It happens fast.
Yep.
Wow.
It does.
You guys have a culture of safety, which is what you were really alluding to, really making sure that we remain safe regarding getting the work done at the same time. That really is kind of in your bailiwick a little bit, Brenda, like the work that's done every day to make sure that their drivers are safe and everything that's going on is safe?
Yeah, so Republic Services, our #1 goal is safety. It's the one thing we prioritize over everything else. Safety is important because we want our drivers to be able to go home to their families at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And having a safety record increases the opportunities for us to recruit better drivers. It instills confidence not only in our drivers but in the communities that we service. So it's a really important value that we take very strongly. And just to give you some facts and figures, we have our safety performance record is 41% better than the national average.
Wow.
Yeah, that's something we're really proud of. That's based on OSHA data. And then also since 2009, Republic Services our drivers have won the National Waste and Recycling Association's Driver of the Year awards in several categories. And we're very excited about that. That's not something that comes easily. This is based on our safety records, which comes daily. You know, we focus on it minute by minute. Some of the things that we do to incorporate safety and the focus on safety is continual safety training, up-to-date information, following regulations, things like that. We have a motto.
Yeah.
You're probably familiar with Eat, Pray, Love.
Yes.
Ours is, before I forget it, I was good at TLC, it's actually TCL, Think, Choose, Live.
Think, Choose, Live.
We incorporate this motto on our safety gear, operational equipment, things like that, so it's on the brain of our drivers constantly. We want them to always be reminded to think about what they're doing, to choose the safe option, the safe choice, and live, be able to go home at the end of the day.
Yeah, and because we're talking about heavy equipment, mechanical equipment. There are definitely some dangerous, you know, hinge points, so to speak, that can really, it could hurt potentially not just the driver, but other people.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And so with safety being a focus, we're constantly drilling our drivers. We're incorporating safety measures and techniques into their daily life. And once a year we have our annual truck rodeo. It's our competition that allows our local drivers to compete against their peers. It's a skills exam. And our winner this year is our female driver, Deanne Jackson, and now we're very proud of her. She now gets to go and compete against her peers within Republic Services across across the nation for the title of the Republic Services Driver of the Year Award.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we wish her the best. So it's exciting, and it just kind of talks about the culture that we really do focus on safety.
Yeah.
And it is something that's at the forefront of all of our minds.
We're going to take a look at some roads and some challenges that you guys have had in the past as we talk about that safety when it really, where it really matters, where the rubber meets the road, so to speak. So let's take a look. We'll throw up a couple of photos right now. So this is one of the smaller streets in Park City for sure.
Yes. As you can see, this picture was taken, and what this does is it prohibits us from going up that street and collecting the cans
you
in that area. There's no way we can get there, and there's no way we can go around the other way and come down. So what we're going to have to do there is go to a completely different part of town or a different road and do it until that trailer is moved, and that could be towards the end of the day. So some people that typically would be picked up at 8, 9, 10 o'clock in the morning, we may not be able to get them until at the end of the day. So you know, a resident may think, oh, they missed me. Well, we didn't miss them. It was just one of those situations where we just couldn't get to them.
How about that? I mean, that's all it took, just that one little trailer, and it's sticking way out there in the road. All right. Talk about this, Reece.
Well, this obviously is a road that, as you can see, we've got cars parked on the side, we've got the container, and picture these type of roads with a few feet of snow on each side of the road, and that's just narrowed. And this is a 2-lane road. And there's cars coming both directions here.
And yeah, you got a big truck.
I was in this truck when it was going down this road, and there was literally about 6 inches on the right side of us. We got about a foot there, and the left side of the truck, I took that picture right there, but the left side of our truck is right at the edge of going off the edge there on the left. So,
wow.
And there's about a foot right there. So the tight spaces really, you know what I'm really impressed about, Joe, is the fact that our drivers are so well trained. I mean, to do what they do in these big trucks is, I've been around it for a long time, and I don't think I could do it. And these drivers are really trained well.
They are, and they're efficient, which is another important consideration. Being safe and efficient and doing the job. Look at this. That's another real tight spot, and that's downhill. You can imagine that with some snow and ice on it.
Yeah, that would cause a big problem at the end if they were not safe and as safe as they possibly could be. And on this road, we actually have to take in the winter, we can't take our regular trucks. We have to take a 4-wheel drive truck. They don't make a 4-wheel drive full-size automated side load truck.
I'm surprised.
And they do make some that are smaller bodied, and we actually have some of those, and we have to take that smaller body truck up there, which does slow us down a little bit because we can't put as much garbage or recycling in the truck as we can our large ones. But to get to some of these areas, we have to take a smaller truck.
Wow.
Now this one, you can tell there's actually another picture before this that shows that exact same picture before the snow was wiped off that car, and you could not even see the car. So if our driver, there it is, you can see the car to the left of the garbage can there.
Oh, wow.
And so we pull into this stop, and they want us to dump this can, and if we picked that can up, if the driver didn't notice that car was there, we would obviously be having an issue with an accident with that vehicle.
Sure. Wow. Yikes.
So this one, the road is cleared a little bit, but again, it would be safe to say that our truck may be able to get around that, but may not be able to, so the driver's got to err on the side of caution.
Yeah, we talked about this a little bit last year, but when you have a road like that and there's a house down at the bottom of it where it curves or something, or any number of different scenarios there. Sure, it's the mailman's going to be able to get to your house in his little 4-wheel drive Jeep and his chains, but a great big truck like that, that's scary, and the ramifications of that are immense as well, right?
Absolutely. If we slide down a hill, whether we're in 4-wheel drive or not, that's not going to stop us going down the hill.
Right.
But if we slide down a hill, we're going to end up in somebody's, living room or something. So we certainly don't want to go that route. Right here, the road looks clear and safe for a little Subaru, but for a big garbage truck, we probably would not be able to get around that corner and up that road.
So what that means, to be specific and clear here, is that you're probably going to have to do that a different day.
A different day. Yeah, so what we're looking at is if we're bumped to the next day because of weather-related issues, we try to pick that section that we couldn't get to one day, we try to pick it up first thing the next morning. But we can't pick up everybody first thing the next morning. We have a finite number of trucks and drivers.
Right.
And so we do the best we can that day, as long as the roads are clear that day and we can get to it and there's passage, then we do it. and then that means everybody else is going to be pushed another day. So we have to ask for patience with regards to that.
And that's what this conversation is all about, is being patient, being understanding that that you guys are on our side, trying to get rid of our refuse and our recycle. But it's not going to always be easy, and it's not always going to be exactly when we expect it.
Well, I think we have to be wise in this. I mean, the pillars of our company, are simple solutions, reliability, and environmental responsibility. But the overarching aspect of what we do has to be safety, because we can't jeopardize someone's life or property, whether it be ours or residents, to pick up a garbage can or a recycle can. We certainly want to get to everyone, but we've got to be wise in that.
Well, I want to thank you guys both for being here, and I'm looking forward to next time. We've got lots of other conversations about some of the stuff, about what things can and can't be recycled. We did a little bit of that here last year, but I think that's an important conversation going forward as well, and where to put those cans. That's another important part. I guess the one big one, maybe tell us that. Where should that can go? Where is the best place? Is it different for every home?
Well, you want to make sure that the lid opens to the street. Sometimes we'll get them turned around, so we got to make sure the lid opens to the street. Ideally, the lid should shut.
Yep.
Or else things could come out as the can is lifted up into the truck. And make sure that it's at least 5 feet away from a car, 3 feet away from each other, and make sure that there's at least 14 feet of overhead clearance when a can is put out.
All right.
So,
thank you both so very much.
Yeah,
I appreciate it. It's Republic Services. They'll be serving you this winter, as they do all summer, spring, and fall as well. But winter, those extra challenges may be a little bit more difficult, so please be patient. Much more to come here on the Mountain Morning Show. We'll be right back.